everybody.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Strawberry Hill Podcast. I'm your host, Mike Simmons, and we are at the lovely The Shop Cigar Lounge down in Strawberry Hill. If you haven't came to visit, please do. And today we have one of my favorite people. I know I always say that, but I truly mean it. We have Judge Jane. That's what I like to call you. Judge Jane Wilson, Sieve Wilson. She is on the podcast. How are you doing?
I'm doing all right, thank you.
Good.
I'm nervous.
Oh, yeah, I forgot. Like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Make sure you follow us. And now we're back.
Okay.
So, how are you?
I'm doing well, thank you.
Good.
I'm excited
good.
to be here.
Oh, well, thank you. And you've been here a couple times before. You did the cocktail class, and you kind of came with your husband. And yeah.
This is the place to be, obviously.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
I wish I didn't have 3 kids and 6 activities and all the other things, job, otherwise I can
seem to keep life busy.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah. So, how's life been? Probably a little chaotic.
Chaotic, yeah. Every night. I think I have 3 kids at 3 sports tonight and jumping around to activities because I'm campaigning now. We'll talk about that, I'm sure. But always running around like crazy. Just can't ever sit down because I'll fall asleep. Yeah.
So how long have you been a judge for?
Pushing 5 years. Come July, it'll be 5 years.
5 years. And so what division are you?
So Division 14, but it's Child in Need of Care Court. So I deal with all the child welfare cases. I've done that since I was appointed by the governor to be a judge. I didn't know what I was doing when I first got on there. I had never really heard about sync court much. So I learned a lot. I have learned a lot. I continue to learn a lot. It's been really a cool ride, scary ride. It's a lot. When I tell people I do what I do, they're like, ew. Like, it's never really a good response.
Yeah, I mean, because you're dealing with, still a lot of negative stuff sometimes, but I'm sure there's a lot of positive in there too.
There's a lot of positive, yeah. I mean, it is. It's hard to hear the stories and what kids go through. It breaks your heart. But there is a lot of good things. When kids get to go back home to their parents, that's pretty amazing. Did that today. It was wonderful.
Oh, awesome.
I know. And then adoptions, those are fantastic.
Yeah.
Those are the best.
When you become judge, they just kind of stick you where you're needed, or?
So when I was appointed, Judge Cahill decided to go over to do criminal, and so his spot was open, and so nobody else really wanted to jump into that. It is its own little specific little world. So that's where I ended up. And now, I mean, I love it. I'm passionate about it. I want to keep doing it for as long as they'll let me. I care so much about the kiddos and the families. It just means the world to me.
Yeah. So are they can they move you at any time, or?
No.
Okay.
I get to stay there as long as.
I was about to say, I didn't know if they just whoever just came in, just all right, we're moving you to Division 12. I don't even remember what that is.
I don't think so. And honestly, I think a lot of the judges are not overly excited about doing it. Again, because it's a niche and it's a lot to take on. I mean, emotionally, and it's a lot of work too. Not saying that they don't, but it is a lot.
So born and raised Wyandotte County, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So whereabouts?
So 82nd Street, just north of Parallel, right behind the Quick Trip. I used to walk to that Quick Trip all the time through the field that was there.
Been there that long?
Yeah.
Hey. No, I'm just saying. I thought it was built like 2000 or something. I just don't remember Quick Trips back in, let's say, the early 90s.
Sure. Yeah. That's when I walked there in the 90s. Yeah. Sure. Yeah.
And so born and raised Wyandotte County. Where did you go to school at?
So I went to St. Pat's for grade school and then Bishop Ward for high school.
Yeah, I think you're my nemesis. I went to Piper.
I know.
So we gotta hate each other for some reason. I really did.
I said I would never, ever, ever live in Piper when I was a kid
and look at
jerks,
you now.
And now I'm there. So it is what it is.
So you were born and raised Wyandotte County, went to school in Ward, and then did you go to college?
Yeah.
Where?
I had to.
Get to K-State, right?
I went to K-State for undergrad. I got my accounting degree. And so then I went to law school at Washburn.
So why accounting?
I like numbers. I like math.
I didn't know that about you.
It's a weirdo. Yeah.
Accounting?
Fun fact. Yeah.
Whew. There's no way.
Yeah. When I was in law school, I got my CPA. I sat for that and had that in my pocket as a backup plan.
What? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
So that's like your... Yeah.
I don't know. It's nothing I'll ever do now. I mean, I did it. So after I graduated law school, I moved to Chicago for a minute to be with my now husband. I sat for the bar there, passed it. And then we
Oh, so you can practice in Chicago too, or Illinois?
in Illinois. Yeah, it's not active, I don't think, anymore. I'm never going back to work there, but I could. So then shortly after that, we moved to Phoenix because my brother lived there, and he just had a baby, so we wanted to be close to family there. So we moved down there for about a year and a half, and I took the bar there and passed it, and then we moved back to Kansas City as soon as I passed that. That's just what we do. But we were married at that point and wanted to have kids, and we wanted grandparents around.
So when did you move? I guess when you moved back to KC, did you just immediately kind of get into the law world?
So no, yes. When I came back here, I worked at Deloitte Tax when I was in Phoenix doing the tax thing, and I realized quickly that was not my thing. Yeah. So now.
So you went to law school at Washburn.
Yeah.
So how long did that take you?
3 years.
3 years. And so when you went to law school, so I guess you grew up in a family of, your dad was a judge, right?
Yep.
And so was it one of those things where you just kind of, is that what you wanted to do, or you just kind of fell into it?
I always was interested in it, but obviously I thought I wanted to do tax law at one point, and that turned out to be kind of lame.
That sounds like a pain in the ass.
Yeah. It was just lame. I mean, you don't get to talk to people. You don't get to interact with other people. So that was not my thing. So.
Yeah. And so moved back to KC.
Yep.
Did you move back to KC and go to Washburn, or did you already go to Washburn before you
I went
moved?
to Washburn before I moved back to KC. I was only on for like 3 years.
And so you got back here. What did you start at?
So I started I worked at a law firm here locally. I did estate planning, and that was not for me either. That was kind of down that tax route. And then I did litigation, so defense, insurance defense work. It was great. I got a lot of experience in the courtroom. It was pretty cool. And jury trials. I didn't know what I was doing at first, but they let me just keep going at it. And so I learned a lot. It was a lot of fun. But then the spot opened up at the sheriff's office, legal advisor spot. I always wanted to come back to Wyandotte County.
Yeah.
This is my home and where I always wanted to work. And that's when it was kind of becoming clear that this is what I wanted to do. So moved back to the sheriff's office, working there, and that's how we met.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. That was the best. I mean, everybody there was the best.
Yeah.
It was a really good experience.
Yeah, you were a great attorney there. We all loved you.
Thanks. It was a lot of fun.
We were sad to see you go, but I know you moved on to be a judge, so which is part of your goal. So I guess tell me about your time at the sheriff's office. So you were a legal advisor. So what does that entail, the sheriff's office?
Kind of a lot of everything. It was a mixed bag. So I did, worked with some of the disciplinary stuff, the union things, trainings. It's kind of just everybody just came to me for whatever. But it was a lot of fun. I was housed in the sheriff's office, which is why I got to meet everybody. So it was a lot of fun. I sat in on some of your guys' training so I could learn about what you all do. I think I got the stun shield at one point. I did.
Ouch.
Yeah. I think I said, and they took it away right away because I felt bad. But I was going to do the taser and I didn't do it. I felt like I should know what it was like.
That would have been, that's one thing that I'd rather get sprayed with OC than tased, just because.
Really?
When you get tased, like your body locks up for 5 seconds. You can't move.
And you look ridiculous.
That too, and you scream. You might piss yourself, so that's a problem. But if you get sprayed, at least I could move and run away, and
that's fair.
And yeah, you could see, but really hurts.
It hurts so
just
bad.
tricks your brain.
How
when you
long
get
does it
tased,
take?
you're just locked up.
How long does it take to get rid of all the stuff, the burn?
I think it's an hour.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Phase me.
But
Maybe
I don't know. I just don't
on.
like that. I don't have any movement. I'm just locked up. I know it's 5 seconds, but
yeah,
I'd rather get, because when you get sprayed, it's not painful, just irritation.
That's fair. Yeah.
Yes, that's my opinion.
Well, I'm
a
glad
lot
I
of
didn't
the
do
people
either
probably
one.
are different. So, what got you into law?
So just going to law school, what was that like?
Yeah, what got you to that route? Because you did CPA, then you did the law. What was it like? I guess what was that factor? You're you know what, I'm going to be an attorney.
I think being around my dad and seeing everything he did, the cool things he got to do, and serving his community. My mom was a teacher too, and so service to community was something that was really important to me. And then the law thing, it was fun. I mean, I really like it. I like learning, reading, not reading like crazy reading, but I like to read through the statutes and learn about them, and read cases. and just kind of work through what that really means, what the statutes say. And I really like, what I'm doing now is making, I'm not making a difference in people's lives, but I'm working with the people that are making a big difference in people's lives. So it's really awesome. It's hard, but it's really awesome.
So what was it like growing up with a dad as a judge?
I don't know that I was as aware of it as my kids are, which maybe it's because I'm running for judge. I have had to run for judge, and I am. And so maybe they're more aware of that, but they don't ever seem like, or I didn't ever really see, cops came over to have warrants signed every now and then. But beyond that, I don't know that I thought it was the coolest thing. I came down to the courthouse quite a bit, I guess, to hang out with them, but I didn't really know how cool it was until I got a little bit older.
So how long was he a judge for?
Like 30 some years.
30 some years.
He was sworn in the year I was born, so we don't have to go crazy with that. Math.
What do you mean? You're 35.
Yeah, right? Exactly. That's what I look like. But yeah, so he was sworn in the year I was born, and then he was chief judge, and he retired. I don't know. I can't remember. I should know that.
So what does chief judge mean?
Just in charge of all the administrative stuff with the judges. Yeah, it's a lot of extra work.
Sounds like a lot of extra work.
Yeah.
So how many judges are at Wyandotte County right now?
16.
16. Mm-hmm. And now I take it, so all of them have to get elected or appointed, right?
Correct. And then they're up every 4 years for reelection.
And then it's like one set is up every 4, the other one's like
every 2. If they flip.
Pretty much there's 2 election every 2 years, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Cool. So I guess tell me what your journey was like when, I guess now you're at the sheriff's office, you're the legal advisor. So what happens from that point to you being appointed to judge? Like, how did that transition?
So, it's hard to really explain, I guess. But going back, there was a position that was open, and a couple other people I knew were running for the spot, but I didn't really know what the future held in terms of spots opening and how they would look, if they'd be election or appointment. I didn't know what an appointment would look like because I didn't really, at that point, I didn't even know who the governor was, so who would be at that point in time. So I decided to throw my hat in. So I ran for judge. I lost. But it was a great learning experience, honestly. It was learning a lot about campaigning, learning a lot about the community, more than I ever knew. And then teaching my kids a lot, like hard work and what it's like to lose but still be okay with it. I think that was a pretty cool experience for them. For me, in my mind, at least, for them to see what that's like, to not, be a sore loser and just kind of everything's okay.
Yeah.
Like, there are worse things in life. Keep on trucking.
Yeah.
And so then after that, shortly after, one of the other judges retired. And so that opening was there and for an appointment. And so I was Governor Kelly's first appointment.
That's super cool.
I know.
Yeah.
Right.
So you got appointed and then you're just like, all right, now you're a judge.
Guys. Yeah.
And then they're just like, now you're division, I forgot what division you
14,
told me.
yep.
14.
Yep.
And so was it like, I guess, was it a smooth transition just to kind of?
It wasn't bad. I was surrounded by a lot of attorneys who knew exactly what they were doing. And so they helped guide me quite a bit. I also went over to watch Judge Cahill while he was kind of wrapping his things up and trying to learn about what it looks like. I have found out, though, in child in need of care cases throughout the state, talking to other judges, everybody does it different. So there really is no perfect answer. So that's more, I guess, relieving for me because I always feel like, what would these people do? Well, they all do different. So it's not so scary, I guess.
So what made you want to be a judge?
I don't know. I guess it was just serving the community and there was an opportunity there. Working for the sheriff's office was awesome, but I just felt that there was something more that I wanted to do. And so with that opening, I just thought, this is it. This is the time. And I guess a little bit of God in there probably too.
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah. So tell me, I guess, about like your job as like a judge, like in your child needed care and stuff like that. So what exactly do you do?
I mean, I do a lot.
You do everything.
So cases come in, kids get removed from custody. I mean, this is very generally speaking, but if kids go into DCF custody, then we have a case open here in Wyandotte County. The families, we work with the families to try to get the kids back at home. We put in orders that kids and parents have to work through to try to work on whatever it is that brought them into care. And then if it gets to a point where, okay, I know you love your kid, but you can't get to the point of being a parent for your child. We have to figure out what's in your child's best interest. And so we have to get some sort of permanency. I always say, your child can't wait forever.
Yeah.
That's the unknown of what's going to happen in their next day. And it's just, I can't contemplate being in that position. I never have been in either one, on the parent position or the child's. So, I mean, we come back to court about every 2-3 months to check in and see how things are going. A lot should be happening in between those hearings. And so, we just kind of all meet up and see where we go from there. What's going to happen next? The only thing I really want is for those kiddos to go home. I know that they love their parents so much and that it means everything to them to go home. Sometimes it's not going to happen. And, we just have to kind of go that route.
But I mean, I think your heart is in the right place because you want what's best for the child.
Yeah.
And like,
really
even if that's not going home with the parent, sometimes that's got to be a tough decision to make.
Yeah. It's like, I think child needed care court is the most important court we have. It really is. I mean, you're talking about people's parental rights. You're talking about kids and their parents. It's not something I take lightly whatsoever.
Yeah.
It really rips my heart out sometimes.
So how difficult is it, I guess, to balance that work life and personal life? Because like if you dealing with kids all day and sometimes you're not, sometimes you might have a bad case or like how do you, if you go home, I guess, how do you, it's like, all right, I got to leave this at work and.
Yeah, I've thought about that because I feel like I get that question sometimes and I don't really know the right answer to that. I guess I just kind of keep trucking. Like I get home to my kids and we keep doing our thing. And I do a pretty good job, I think, of leaving it at home or leaving it at work. I mean, leaving work at work and not really diving into that with my kids. I try not to, get them too involved with what I have going on. Sometimes I do get calls after hours and they kind of get a feel for what it is, but I don't know. It is a tough balance between all of that, but yeah.
How many kids you got?
3 kids.
3 kids.
Yeah.
They probably take up. Well, I mean, I guess when you get home, you probably can't just like sit and just like, oh, I've had a rough day. It's probably all right. I got to do this practice, that practice, this event, that event.
That's exactly what it is. Yeah. I think if I sit down, I fall asleep. So I think when I campaigned the first time, my kids were younger, and to some extent that was easier because they didn't have 75 activities a week. So it did, to some extent, make it a little bit easier. Now I have 3 kids and 2 different activities basically at all times, and sometimes I'm coaching, so that adds it on.
I was about to ask. So I know you do coaching, youth coaching, all that stuff. So what do you coach?
So I coach volleyball. I used to coach softball, and I used to coach basketball.
I know you did basketball.
Yeah, until this year, I backed off a little bit because my daughter wanted to do volleyball more. And so as a compromise with my husband, I had to back off coaching, which is kind of hard to do. I like hanging out with the kids. I mean, they're a lot of fun for the most part. So yeah.
How long have you been coaching? Like this before, like you got into this field?
Since they were probably like 4. So, I mean, my oldest is 13. So yeah, it's been a minute. I kind of dove right into it. I don't even know how actually I got into it at first, but I love sports. And
it's probably someone asked you because they needed a coach. That's how I got jumped into it.
That's true. And I'm a yes guy. I'm like, sure. Yeah. That'd be great.
I coached, what was it? 5-year-old girls. Well, I guess 5-6-year-old girl basketball. And I did 1st and 2nd grade boys basketball.
Nice.
Oh, Lord. Yeah.
That's when they're the cutest, though.
Yeah, but it was like herding cats.
Yeah, it is.
Because it's like, everyone's traveling. Yeah. No one's bouncing the ball.
They don't call anything.
Shoot it. Yeah, do what?
They don't really call anything, right?
No. They don't call anything, but they're just like, just go. But it's like you're trying to teach fundamentals. Like, all right, try to bounce it. And they're like, no, we're just going to run full speed.
I know, They just take it like football and then throw it up.
I know when we coached boys, it was me and Dave Tolan.
Oh.
Yeah. We were talking about fun time. I remember the name of the boys' team was the Black Potatoes. I have no clue how they came up with the name.
The kids picked it?
No clue.
That's
Or like, what do you guys want to be called? They're like, Black Potatoes. I was like, I guess that's what we're going to be called. So we were called, everyone had like, we're the Panthers or Tigers or Dragons. We're like, we're the Black Potatoes.
Oh my gosh. That's great.
Don't know
Did it go on
why.
the jerseys?
No, thank God. I don't know who would be making that. But I think we had black jerseys, which was, I guess, fitting.
Worked out well.
But yeah. So,
That's great.
Well, I guess what's your favorite sport to coach?
That's tough too. I mean, since I'm really coaching volleyball, I think I like that a lot. I had a high school girl who was awesome come help me this year, and also my cousin who's a little bit younger. I think the girls think that they're a lot cooler. I know they do, but they came in and helped out, and the girls really listened to what they said. I know my limits. You know, I'm not a great hitter. I'm not that tall, and I don't know all the things. You know, things have changed since I was in
talking
school.
about volleyball?
Yeah,
I love volleyball.
you do.
Sand volleyball.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I can play regular volleyball, but sand volleyball is
the best.
gig.
I miss it actually. Yeah.
Yeah.
Get back
Well,
into
you
that.
need to you should set up something like a meet and greet Jane at sand volleyball court. Yeah.
I don't
We're
think
just
you
building
wanna
one in the
see
back
me
of your
that.
house, and then we'll just go there.
Sounds great.
Yeah. See, I got all these ideas. So with your kiddos, so your kiddos played this. I guess, what sports did you play in high school?
Softball, basketball, and volleyball. Softball is probably my favorite to play.
And then so now your kiddos are doing the same thing.
Yeah.
To your kiddos, I know you said that like your dad was a judge and you kind of want to follow in his footsteps and stuff. Do you see the same thing with your kiddos now?
No.
No.
No. I mean, I don't know. My oldest, she wants to be a vet. She's 13. She's 13. I had to think about that. But she has known that for like 5 years. That's what she wants to be. My 12-year-old is a little bit more chill about everything, but I think she'll probably go down the teacher route maybe. And my boy, my 9-year-old, he wants to play in the NFL and then the MLS, and then he'll coach or be a manager. So I have no idea what will happen with him. Maybe he will be an attorney.
I bet you all three are going to be all attorneys. Just like,
Oh gosh. I feel like he could be a sports agent. Like he's really into all the stats and facts and everything like that. And he's pretty confident in what he says.
That's funny.
Yeah.
So you've been judged for 5 years. So I guess tell me what has been like kind of some of the best moments of being a judge. Like, what do you love about being a sync judge and all the things you do?
I really I love the people that I work with, which I think is always a big deal. Very important. I like working with the families. I like talking to the kids when they come into court. I love that. I love seeing them and putting faces to names because I don't always get to. We have CASAs that come in and they work with kids too, and they kind of give us reports.
What is it?
A CASA.
What is that?
Court appointed special advocate. So they're volunteers. They're an organization here with Johnson and Wyandotte County. And they just work with the kid, but also everybody else in the case to try to get like a different feel of what's going on. And they give reports and they send us pictures sometimes of the kiddos. So all of that I love. I love the collaboration with everybody. It's a lot of moving parts. We have attorneys for a kid. We have an attorney from the state. And then we have parents attorneys. And then there's professionals from all the agencies locally.
That's a lot of people.
It's a lot of people
that you're working with. Is that like just kind of like for one case?
Yeah.
And so do you find it hard? Like, does everyone work well together?
Largely, yes.
Sometimes, yes.
Yes, or they're forced to. I think largely everybody really does kind of collaborate. We were on Zoom for a while because of COVID. And as soon as we could come back in person, I did that because the collaboration doesn't happen when everybody's on Zoom and they're just a picture. And, you know, people don't take it very seriously either as a hearing, at least in mine, it didn't seem like it. So I wanted everybody to be there to talk before and after the hearings, for parents to get to see who all these people are too. So I moved back in person as soon as we could because it is so much. The adoptions are awesome when kids go home, when kids are doing great, you know, and they're about to reach 18 or they do reach 18 years old and they're doing so good. And their future's so bright. It's so cool to see.
So do you do all the adoptions?
I do all the adoptions, most of the adoptions that come from my court. They can go anywhere in Kansas where they want to go do it. But
do they have to do it? I guess, do they have to go through you if they live in Wyandotte County?
No. So the cases that I get I don't know. I don't know what the stats are, but if if their case of the underlying sync case was in Wyandotte County, then they can do the adoption here or they can do it anywhere in the state of Kansas.
Now, I know this may not be something that you know, but like I've always heard that like adopting a kid is a lot harder than just like, hey, I'm going to adopt this kid and just do the paperwork, like
It's a lot of work.
it's a lot of work.
It takes forever.
How
It
long
really
of a
does.
process is it?
It just really depends on a lot of different things. They'll try to find family members that can adopt the child, and then working between all the different options for kids, or if there aren't any options and they have to kind of keep looking to try to find options. There's a lot of paperwork. There's home studies. There's background
They have
checks.
to like come in and like check your house and
Yeah.
make sure. That's a lot of.
I think it's daunting to me. I mean, I think I wouldn't say I'm a put together person, but I don't think that my house is scary or anything, but it's a lot to think about. You're like, geez, I don't know. These people are going to be in my life and I don't love it.
And so do like when you get the adoption and everything goes through, I'm sure there are like follow-ups all the time with the family, or are they just kind of.
So the agency will stay with them for a little while after the adoption, and then they're good to go. I always say at adoption, you can go jump on a trampoline or do whatever you want without asking anybody, because I mean they truly don't have to worry about any of that anymore.
That's
it's pretty
awesome.
cool.
Yeah.
And a lot of times it's like, well, you're already family. You've been living together for so long. We just make it a paper official today.
I know me and my wife talked about not the adoption part, but like I forgot what it's called when, like, if a child's in sync or the child needed care, and like you're like they need someone to stay with for like a day or two.
Oh yeah.
I don't know what that's called.
I can't remember what it's called either off the top of my head, but I have some friends who do that.
We talked about that, but man, it's like our 2 kids are enough. I'm like, I don't know if I can put a new, and then it's just like what I find hard too, and I know that my wife would do the same. Is like if you're doing that program, like taking kids in and out every, you only have them for 2-3 days or a week or 2 weeks or a month. You get attached and you just don't want to like, all right, see you later. Yeah.
I mean, think about foster parents who have kids for a very extended period of time. I mean, I've had some horrible ones where that's what comes up. Either they go home or they go to another family member or something to that effect. It's heart wrenching. It really is.
And it's hard as a judge because you're just trying to do the right thing, and
yeah, it's not fun, not easy.
Yeah. So you said something about COVID.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh yeah, that was a crazy time. But it was a crazy time in law enforcement when I was, like working, and especially in the jail. It's like, because there was a lot of times when they didn't want to bring in everybody. So it was like, it was just a weird time. I guess tell me what it was like being a judge during COVID.
It was weird.
Especially your child needed care stuff and all that stuff.
It was interesting. I mean, for a while we were shut down. And then when we got back, everything was on Zoom. Like I said, it was just like such a disconnect, and there weren't as many services available, trying to get kids or parents to go get things done. It was really a challenge, not as much for me, but for the social workers.
Yeah.
It was really hard. And so, some of our cases were kind of stagnant during that. And we certainly gave leeway to those parents and families that are trying to get to the right spot, but just don't have all the options that they should have at those times. It was interesting. But like I said, I got out of that as soon as I could and got back into person.
That's good.
I don't know if it's the most popular choice by everybody else who has to be there, but I don't care.
Well, now things hopefully are back to normal. I know it's kind of.
There's still quite a few though, like judges who do a lot on Zoom, which is great. I mean, if it works for you, it's wonderful. It just couldn't work for me. And I mean, like telling people you're muted 100 times over, or all the other crazy things that I've seen, it just gets a little bit tiresome. Yeah.
So how many cases are you working like a week? Or do you have to is there something like every day?
I have hearings every day. It just depends on how many. I think it's kind of calmed down a little bit. When I first got on the bench, it was wild. I mean, it was so crazy. And I think it's slowed down a little bit recently. And so it's kind of weird almost because I'm not totally jammed all day long with hearings. So I can do other things with work. It's kind of nice. But it's also a little bit strange. But
yeah. So you talked about the good things about being a judge. Tell me about I guess some of the hardest things that you have to deal with. Not dealing with people or stuff like that, but the hardest thing about being a judge in your spot.
Making the hard decisions. I know you talked
about the kids and stuff.
Yeah. Seeing the kids who are having a tough time. Seeing the kids that you just want to talk to them and try to figure it out with them. And I can't really go to their house and talk to them or anything like that. Those are hard. The parents that I know that love their kids so much and they can't pull it together. I mean, there's a lot. It's just the hard decisions really that have to be made. And, those are the times where people are like, yeah, well, you're the judge. You got to figure it out. So, I take every one of those decisions really to heart. And, I don't make those without a lot of information and a lot of thought. So I just try to do what's best for the kiddos.
Yeah, I bet. It's got to be one of the toughest spots in, I guess, the criminal justice system is like, you're the judge, like you,
right?
Yeah, like
it's wild, right?
You have the decisions, like you make the decisions. So
yeah,
and it's like it all lies with you. And so you just gotta you really gotta articulate what your outcome's gonna be.
Right.
Yeah.
I saw I heard on the radio when they talked about judges being one of the more stressful jobs.
100%.
Which I think some people laugh at because it's not always the most strenuous hours wise and whatnot. You do have some flexibility in that. But man, I tell you what, when I'm in there, it is the most stressful. I get home and I'm just wrecked because,
it's
stressing
hard
out.
Not to take that stress home.
Yeah.
And it's like, I feel like you have to deal with a lot, especially if I was a judge, I wouldn't want to be dealing with kids because that's hard, especially when you have young kids your own.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I love seeing the kids.
Kudos to you. You got a tough job. So
I love it.
Yes. Funny thing that we talked about earlier before we started. So do you have to wear a robe every time you're in court?
Every time I'm on the bench, yeah.
On the bench.
Yeah.
So is it just one of those things you just put it
Pop
on?
out? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I put it on. It's a big old robe. It's not flattering at all. It's not a good look.
And then with the gavel, you got a gavel, right?
Yeah.
And do you use it a lot? Because if I was a judge, I would be
hammering.
Order. Just do it. And it would be dead silent. I just want to use it.
I use it for adoptions. That's it.
And just kind of you're adopted.
Yeah. Adjourn.
You need the next time you're in there, just before you start, just order.
I've had a lot of people tell me weird things that I should do on the bench. Maybe I'll do that though. You know what? I have great security though now. We're pretty lucky in that respect. I think people keep it toned down too.
And you're in the new building, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Beautiful.
a pretty cool building.
It is nice. Yeah.
So I know that when you become judge, you get sweared in and stuff like that. Your dad swore you in, right? Is that right? Not swore you in, but
he died two weeks before I was sworn in.
I forgot about that. Yeah. So was it Jenny that did it?
Judge Burns. He swore me in. Yeah.
And so did you get a special gavel?
Yeah, it has my name on it. One of my kids in my adoption broke it.
Oh,
that's the one I use. And he jammed it really good. So it's a little wobbly on top now. That's okay. It was cute. I've tried to tighten it. It's fine. But yeah,
you have to have more than one gavel.
No, I only have one.
You gotta get you another one.
I gotta get on the Amazon.
Yeah, I'll get you one that's engraved Shop Cigar Lounge.
Yes.
Gavel.
Yeah, I'll pass that out.
I order you to go to the shop and buy a cigar. Not the kids. Gotta be 21.
Oh, yeah. Probably none of you parents either. Yeah. Just nobody go there actually.
Yeah, actually. So I know you do a ton of community stuff. You're always out doing community things and you're always out and about and tell me, I guess, what you like to do out there in the community, because you're always at either some meeting, some organization, picking up trash. You're busy, and this is just this is all year, not just election year. You're always out and about.
I try to, I will say, before COVID, I was deeply involved with everything and went to all the meetings and all the things around the community. COVID obviously shut a lot of things down. And then as soon as COVID came out, my kids were so involved in so many things and older to where it makes it a lot more difficult. But I still really try to get out to all those things. I always want to have, a pulse on what's going on in the community. Like I told you before we went on is, I go into some of the community meetings recently even. You learn a lot about what's going on and a lot of things that would help me with my job too. So it's been really cool. Yeah.
There's a ton of little neighborhood meetings that, you wouldn't even think about.
No.
So are you going, I know it's election year, so how many, are you doing stuff every day?
Trying to, or if not, I'm just going to walk door to door and try to bother people in the middle of dinner. I hate it.
And so,
I love it, but I hate it. Yeah.
And with the election stuff, we'll get in a little bit here in a minute, but is that, so anybody can vote, right, for a judge?
So
and it's countywide.
Yeah, but it's a partisan, so Democrat. Yeah.
So Democrat can vote.
Yeah.
Okay.
because it's all in the primary. There's just 2 Democrats running, so that's where it gets decided August 6th.
On the 6th, August?
August 6th.
August 6th.
Yep.
Here we go.
The day.
So get out and vote.
Exactly.
So the community work, you do a ton of community work. I guess, what's your favorite thing to do, like other than like coaching? What's your favorite like or organization that you're part of, or favorite thing you like to do? Like, see, like I said, you pick up trash and you're out all these meetings. Like, what's your favorite thing you like to do?
You know, I kind of like the picking up the trash. I like to do things that I can take my kids to go do and to kind of get them involved in the community and to see the different parts. Like we'll drive by some of the parks around here and they're like, oh yeah, we went there. And like some of the meetings and whatnot that I can take them to, I try and make them, be a part of that and experience it. I don't know that I had my eyes so open to how big Wyandotte County is until I ran, honestly, last time, walking through all those neighborhoods. I'm like, where is this place?
Yeah, there's a lot of neighborhoods.
Yeah.
You see a lot of cool houses, a lot of old houses.
Meet a lot of cool people.
Yeah. I know, like, what is it, like West Heights?
Yeah.
Is that like the neighborhood by Wyandotte? Uh-huh. There's a lot of cool houses up there.
Yeah.
And so you start your campaigning.
Yeah.
How's that
Dive
going?
right into it.
Yeah.
It's good. It's busy. It's kind of cool just getting around again and seeing people that I haven't seen for a minute too on some of these things. And I mean, I'm going to be exhausted for the next 4 months or whatever, but it'll be worth it.
And so you like kind of, I guess, are you walking door to door? You started that yet?
Yep. I have.
A lot of walking.
Got my tennis shoes on. Yeah. Actually, I have to wear a brace because I think I pulled like my Achilles tendon the other day walking. I think I'm getting old. I was saying like at least I'm doing this while I'm younger, but apparently I'm not as young as I thought I was. So
you're fine.
That's fine.
You're fine. So what's been your favorite part about it? Just kind of meet new people, or? Yeah,
I always love walking door to door. I mean, it takes a lot of time away, but it's actually really cool. I've kind of just touched the edge of that at this point in time, but I'm going to get around it. I'm going to try to get around to everybody. That's the plan of attack. We'll see how that works, but that's the hope.
So you say, and then you got your kiddos helping too, which is nice.
Yeah, their friends say that they're going to go door to door. Actually, I think I have their whole school voting for me if they could. They all want my T-shirts and my pins and everything. They're really cute.
Yeah, I need to get one of your signs. I told you to put one in my yard.
I got you covered. Don't you worry. Yeah.
So let's see here. And I think your kids are going to jump into that. They see that. And it seems like, see your Facebook photos and stuff like that. They're like, they seem to like it. So I think eventually you're probably going to be like, you're going to have an attorney or judge in your hands.
My dad always told me don't do it. I'll probably tell them the same thing. And
I mean, being in politics is tough. Yeah. It's politics.
Being politics and being a judge is really just an odd position to be in anyway. I mean, you're talking about, you're trying to get people to vote for you and do all these things, and yet you're also doing your job at the same time.
Yeah, and you can't really do it in the courtroom either. You're like,
right.
Yeah, and you got to do your job, and it's like afterwards, like, all right, now let me try to campaign, and
right.
Yeah,
and then it's partisan, so people want to ask what your stances are on certain things. It's like, well, I mean, I don't write the law; I just enforce it, so I don't really get to do that. That is a great
answer.
Yeah,
I don't write the law.
I don't know. Enforce it. Everybody accepts that though. They still push on, and they want the answer, but. That's really what it is. I don't really get to make those decisions at this level, at least.
So if you're not campaigning, you're not working, you're not doing all this community work, coaching, you're a busy person. What do you like to do in your spare time?
I think
that's like a loaded question.
No, I mean, I have become more of a homebody, and I want to hang out with my kids more of a person. And I don't know if that's what I was thinking about this the other day. I don't know if that's because of what I do, that I really just cherish the time that I can have with them. I'm not the campaigning part, but what I do every day in sync court. I just think maybe, that's just, I want to do whatever they want to do and be around them. I mean, I love to hang out with my friends and do things like that, but I mean, I don't get down here enough. I don't get to do enough. So, I am trying to grasp onto them while they're still around, because I know that that's going to end really quick.
Yeah. It flies by.
Yeah.
Just, my kids are 4 and 6, and it just seemed like yesterday
Wild.
They were just born.
They're babies.
Jesus.
Yeah. My oldest is 13.
I know, it's crazy.
13 and 12 and 9. Yeah.
They're going to be going to prom here soon.
Yeah. I mean, I know how horrible I was to my parents, so it's coming
Yeah,
hard.
it comes around, goes around. That's the same way. I feel like my daughter was put in my life, just be like, because I was such a crazy kid.
Yeah.
It's like, all right, now get a little taste of your own
right?
medicine. Oh
she's
my
totally a pistol.
gosh.
I love it.
She is. I always tell people she's either going to be CEO of some Fortune 500 company, or she's going to be a prison gang leader. One of the two. Like she is. A pistol is. She's probably a shotgun. Really, that girl is crazy.
She's so cute.
Yeah, it's like, and my son is like the most like chill and like sensitive kid.
Really?
Like anything would hurt his feelings.
Is she mean to him ever?
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
all
totally.
the time.
Yeah,
All the time. And it's like she's polar opposite.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. Like I have to like break up fights between them because she started it almost all the time.
Really?
Yeah.
A little bully, huh?
Yeah. So how old are your kids?
13, 12, and
9.
7th grade, 6th grade, 3rd grade.
Man.
So when kids come into court, sometimes this is kind of funny, but I'll be like, "Hey, you play any sports?" And
play volleyball.
every like the CSOs will call me out often. Like, "What are you doing? Are you recruiting?" Like, no, just
I want a good team.
You look pretty tall over there. How's it going?
So, born and raised Wyandotte County. So, what is your favorite part of Wyandotte County?
Man, that's hard. I would say,
I guess like people, things, or whatever you want to, you ever want to answer.
I think the mixing bowl of what it is of everybody here. Everybody has a different background and a cool story about how they grew up, places they went, where they came from. You know, there's a lot of flavor in this town, and I love it. I like learning more about it too.
Yeah.
You know, it's really cool.
I think this is one of the most diverse places in the country, I believe, because it's like 30%, white, 30% black, 30% Hispanic, and then like
there's a whole
10% everything else. Yeah, it is. It's crazy, and I love it. It's super diverse here, and I think like a lot of like agencies here, like the courthouse and the like police department, sheriff's office, fire department, it shows that too, which I think it's cool.
Yeah,
because it's
you're right.
Very diverse community.
It is cool, and that's what I want my kids to grow up with.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, what's your favorite place to eat? I'll put you on the spot.
Man, I don't ever go out to eat.
Well, what do you do when I guess like when you have a break from the courthouse? Like, all right, where am I going to go?
So I don't really go anywhere. So I go across the street to the little Connect Cafe, which is ran by Foster Adopt Connect.
Yeah. And do you deal with them a lot?
Some. Yeah. I know we have families that work with them quite a bit. I know the people there; they're wonderful. So I like to go support that effort over there, and it's right across the street, and I can walk there. I'm too lazy to get in my car and go anywhere. But, I like all of the originals. I love Slaps, of course. You gotta love Fritz's,
Slaps.
of course, too.
That's got to be one of the best barbecue places. Them and Joe's.
Yeah.
I still call it Oklahoma Joe's.
Yeah,
I can't call it
sure.
Kansas City Joe's or whatever. And it's so weird because it's like, it's in Wyandotte County, isn't it? Like the original, the gas station
It's
one?
right on that line.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I'm always like, is it
like
Wyandotte County
trivia.
or is it not? Yeah.
Let's get that answer. But yeah, I don't ever make it there. All the Mexican food's amazing. Mm-hmm. It's fantastic. I just need to get it out and try some more things. I need people to force me to go out for lunch, I guess.
Yeah.
But I just kind of stay and hunker down at my office, try to get things done. I'm pretty lame.
Yes, you're not lame. So, the election's August 6th.
Yep.
So, I guess now we're going to jump into the election stuff.
Okay.
So, why are you running again? Or I guess, why are you running for re-election?
Okay, so I want to keep doing this job, and I really want to keep doing what I'm doing in terms of child in need of care court.
Mm-hmm.
I feel so invested in what's going on right now, and I get worried about what'll happen if I'm not there, which I know I'm not, the perfect judge or the smartest person or whatever.
I'll say you are. There you go.
Thanks. But I just really care, and I really want what's best for them. And they don't have a lot of consistency in these cases, and I know that I am that consistent person. Mm-hmm. So I know I can keep us on task and moving things forward. I just I can't contemplate not knowing what's going on with these kiddos and not being able to help them get to the right spot. I finally feel confident where I can kind of get at people about doing things for these families, and pushing a little bit more. But yeah, at the end of the day, I'm just so passionate about it. I really am. I really care about everybody in there. So yeah, I mean, that's it. Most people try to jump out of this court if at all possible. Like everybody asks me, when am I going to get out of it? I've had the opportunity.
That was my next question.
Yeah, no, everybody asks. I mean, I've had the opportunity, but like I said, I know that these families need that consistency. When I got on, people were freaked out seeing me up there instead of Judge Cahill, who was before me. And it took some time to transition into that. And I don't want them to have to deal with that again.
Yeah. So you want to be just judge till the day you retire?
I do. Yeah. I don't know if I'll do this forever, the child need care, but I just definitely want to be a judge. I want to serve the community.
Yeah,
I don't know what else I would do if I wasn't doing this.
And so I guess it shouldn't be a tough question to ask. I guess why should they vote for you?
Because I'm going to continue to work hard. I'm going to continue to work hard for our community and for our families. I'm never going to veer away from what I'm doing right now. I'm going to keep pushing harder for our families and for these kiddos in our community. I just know that I'm where I'm meant to be. I think that like the crazy broken road that I've been through to get to where I am right now, losing the election, but then being appointed and ending up where I'm at. I feel like it's like God did have a plan. He does have a plan always, but that was it. It's like I should be here. And I really do feel like that. I
will say, for my time being over the sheriff's office, I think you did a phenomenal job at being a judge, and you're a great friend too. So, I got pluses on both ends of that.
That's fair.
Yeah, that's fair. Thankfully, I've never had to be in your courtroom.
Yeah, right.
So,
I know. I tell people when I come in for adoptions or whatever to see the adoptions, I'm like, hopefully you never ever come into a courtroom after this. Like never again. Yes.
So I guess when's your next like meet and greet? Like, how do people, if people want to kind of contact you, how does that happen? So
I just had a meet and greet, but I do have a Facebook page. It's Jane for Judge. Super easy. And then I have an email address. It's Jane for Judge 2024. I might have to check that.
So good. We'll put it all in there.
Okay. Anyways, but yeah, any emails or through my Facebook page is perfectly wonderful. If you have an event that I can come to, give me a call. I'd love to go. Yeah, I mean, I'm open to all things. And I would love to have more conversations one-on-one with people. I mean, trying to go door to door, but again, you're going at the worst times. You're going when people are eating dinner or Sunday afternoon when they're enjoying their family and being lazy or whatever they want to do. And so, I mean, I know a lot of people probably don't answer the door or don't want to talk with me or mess with me. So if anybody wants to reach out, I would really love that conversation.
Yeah. And if you guys see her knocking on your door, just answer and just say, hey, we'll vote for you.
Oh my gosh. Making dogs bark is the worst thing ever. I feel horrible because I know how that is with my dogs.
It's like my house. Yeah. Yes. Someone knocks on the door, my dog is crazy.
They go crazy. And so I can't handle it. So I feel really bad every time I do it. I'm like, sorry. And it goes crazy. I'm so sorry. Here you go. Slide it through the door. Try to talk to him as much as I can.
So what is your 5-10-year goal? 5-year goal, 10-year goal.
So 5 years, I want to keep doing what I'm doing. I definitely want to be there for at least 10 years in child in need of care court. I think about 5 years, and my daughter will be 18, and my other daughter will be 17-ish, roughly. So survival, I think, maybe, and to some extent, surviving their teenage years. That might be a part of it in my personal life. But I mean, just kind of continuing to learn about child in need of care court, because I'm telling you, I mean, like every day is a new learning thing about what we have available or what people can do or what the law says, because there are some things that are kind of hard to read perfectly. So, I mean, just learning from other judges too. I really like that. And attorneys. The attorneys are the ones who helped me survive when I first got on. They really helped. So, I mean, I'm always open to it. And I think that's really important in terms of a judge to be able to be willing to learn from other people. Some people just think they're a little too high and mighty to be able to open their ears to what's going on around them.
That's everywhere.
Yeah. I know. I know judges love to talk about themselves. And I'm totally anti-judge, I think, because I am the opposite of that. I hate talking about myself. And
you
here
sure
I am.
do. I know. I have to like force you to talk about yourself here. You're like, I don't want to.
I know. It's terrible.
So if you could look back when you were younger, of all the, like all your accomplishments, all the things you did and all that stuff, I guess if you can go back in time, what would you tell yourself?
You don't know everything, which is what I tell a lot of kids. Like, I know that you're like 16 or whatever, and I know you think you know all the things, but you don't. And there's a lot of things I won't say on here that I would tell myself, but make better decisions.
More candid, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But make better decisions, and that, you don't know everything. And, some of the things my mom told me, she was actually right.
Yeah.
I mean, I know.
Like we all had that as a kid. Like, I know what I'm doing.
Yes. Yeah. And the kids come in and I try to tell them all these things. And I know I'm old and I'm not cool, but I was you at one point and I thought I knew everything too. Mm-hmm. And everybody here is just super worried about you. So just please listen to us. Just give it a go. But
yeah, it's hard about kids. We were all hard-headed.
Yeah.
It still is. Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
It's like, I've been through what you've been through.
Yeah.
Like, just listen.
Now they have so many more things. So it's just more scary.
Social media and all that stuff. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you ain't kidding.
Yeah, it's scarier than it's ever been.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So, it's been a privilege.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, of course. And so everyone can go out and vote August 6th.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes, please do. It really does matter. People don't seem to think so a lot.
If you live in Wyandotte County, you're a Democrat, go vote.
I don't know that there's a lot on the ballot, but this one is important. It's important to me, and I think it's important to families in Wyandotte County. So I really would certainly appreciate everybody getting out.
And then they can find you. Your Facebook is
Jane for Judge.
Jane for Judge. Mm-hmm. You have Instagram?
No, I haven't got on any of that stuff.
You're good.
Yeah, I don't think anybody.
And then what'd you say your next? Do you have a?
I don't have anything coming up, but it'll be on my Facebook page. So just get on there and like it, and you can follow it.
And if they want to sign or anything, they just contact you to the Facebook.
Yeah, on my Facebook page there is a post that has a QR code, or you can just message me. I would love to put a sign in your yard.
Cool.
Sorry you have to mow around it, but it's not that horrible, I promise. And you can wait for a little while to put it out. But I would love any kind of support I can get to keep doing what I'm doing.
Awesome. Well, thank you for coming on.
Thanks for having me.
Good luck.
Thanks.
I'll be rooting for you.
Thanks.
Yeah.
It's good to hang out with you at least.
Yeah, I know. You got to come down more.
I know. We'll
we
just
gotta
do
get
this
you
once
to
a week.
Smoke a cigar sometime. Nope. Okay.
No.
Well, I tried.
Yeah, sorry. I'll hang out with you.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, thanks you for tuning in. Like I said, like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Make sure you follow us on all the platforms, and we will see you next time.
Goodbye, everybody.